Is it going to be a long night for Sean O'Malley, or is Merab getting put to bed early? Before I get into that, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe as I have brand new videos every single week. Fight week is here and UFC 306 is this Saturday, and I'm going to make my predictions. So let's take a look at what we've got. Sean O'Malley is defending the Bantamweight Championship against Merab Dvalishvili, and there's nothing quite like commemorating Mexican Independence Day with an American who has an Irish name fighting a Georgian in Las Vegas, and the whole event is sponsored by the Saudis. Honestly, the UFC is so shit sometimes. If this is a big Mexican event, make it Mexican, right? But I guess they just don't have the fighters to do that. But let's get on with some predictions. Merab is now on a 10-fight win streak and on a complete tear. He's beat 3 former champions in a row: Jose Aldo, Piotr Jan, and Henry Cejudo. Merab has a tricky style to deal with. He just shoots and shoots and shoots, and he has cardio for days. It could be a real tough night for O'Malley here, but Sean isn't that bad on the ground. We've seen him compete in jiu-jitsu tournaments. He defended really well against Aljo, but he did have a lot of problems with Jan. Jan got him down so easily, but Jan is a multifaceted fighter, right? He's great everywhere, so you've got to be wary of the takedown and the striking threat, whereas with Merab, you know exactly what he's going to do, right? Shoot. So coming into it, Sean and his team know exactly what Merab is going to do. He's going to come out and he's going to try and take you down straight away. And the big problem I see for Merab here is, though, he's got an incredibly low finish rate. And it's not just about O'Malley getting ragdolled for 25 minutes. Merab has to be perfect for those 25 minutes. He has to survive O'Malley for those 25 minutes. Merab is great at getting people down, but he's not great at keeping them there. Sean will manage to get back up and he will connect with Merab. He just needs that one good strike, and over 5 rounds, I think he's going to get it. So my final prediction for this fight is a 2nd round KO for O'Malley. I think Merab is going to get hit with a big left hook. We've seen this happen before when Merab fought Miraz and Cejudo, and if you get hit like that from these guys, Sean is gonna put your lights out. And in the co-main event, we have Alexa Grasso versus Valentina Shevchenko 3. And as much as I love seeing these two women go at it, I'm bored of this matchup now. And if Valentina manages to beat Grasso, we'll get a 4th fight. It's like Marino versus Figgy all over again. Just a constant loop and holding up a division. I'd rather have seen both of them go off and fight other people. Grasso versus Zhang Weili, champion versus champion, would have been a perfect fight for this card, but it is what it is.
It is. How are we gonna make it? We're gonna find out Saturday night.
So who gets the win? It's a real tricky fight to call, this one, because both are incredibly well-rounded. They're both great on the feet, they're both great on the ground, both fast, both strong, both technically able. And I really do feel this is a 50-50 matchup, but I will say Alexa Grasso does have youth on her side, and Valentina has hit that cursed 35 and above category, and she isn't getting any younger. Also, Alexa Grasso has finished Valentina before, and we've seen her hurt her on the feet as well. Don't forget, she dropped her real bad in that last fight. So I think with the threat of a finish and that sort of power of youth, that'll give Grasso the edge in this one. Then we move on to Lopes versus Ortega, almost a guaranteed banger. These two were meant to meet back at UFC 303, but Ortega struggled to make the weight, and then he pulled out due to illness. But Diego Lopes fought Dan Ige instead, who rocked up on like, what, 3-4 hours notice, if that. It was a real difficult weekend for Lopes. He trained for a completely different opponent, and he had to make 2 big weight cuts in less than 24 hours, but still managed to get the win over Ige. But there was a lot of holes in his game on display in that fight. He got caught a lot. But like I said earlier, he had 2 big weight cuts, and it really makes a big effect in these situations. And Lopes is a much stronger striker than Ortega, and they're both fantastic on the ground and have some wicked submissions under their belt. So you'd think that I'd be leaning Lopes because, sure, 2 grapplers going at it. One's a better striker. You'd think, right, okay, Lopes is going to get the win here. But I do worry for him. Sure, he's got more fights than Ortega overall, but Ortega has more experience at the top of the pile, and it really makes a big difference. I think the size of this event and the pressure on Lopes might get to him, and I think he's going to make a lot of mistakes, and Ortega is going to capitalize on those mistakes and get a decision win. I really hope I'm wrong though, because I would love to see Lopes get the win here. Now, usually I'd go over the rest of the card, but who cares? There's 3 big fights and the rest are complete dog shit. Sure, you've got Rosas Jr. on here on the prelims, and he's always fun to watch, but he's getting fed a can with 10 losses on his record, and it's just not overly interesting. I don't know what Dana White was thinking with this card. He kept talking about it's going to be this huge, unmissable event, and to be honest, it's very lackluster, and it's such a shame. Thank you for watching. If you can like, comment and subscribe, it really does help the channel out.